Whether you're new to the craft or coming back after several years away, there's one aspect that often trips people up: the energy work. After a while, you don't really notice that you're doing it. It becomes second nature, muscle memory. But to start with, it can be really difficult to get out of your head, to apply it practically, to know that you're doing it correctly, to know that you're doing it at all, or that you're doing it strongly enough. And there's a few practices that we can do to help us strengthen those energetic muscles, but also to help confirm to ourselves that we're capable of doing it and that we're doing it correctly. Today, I wanted to be talking about a group working, but in a couple of weeks, I'll be doing a solitary alternative to this for anybody that doesn't have access to other practitioners. This practice is incredibly simple, yet it strengthens so many skills. It's going to be improving your centering, your grounding, your visualization, your energy sensing, as well as your energy manipulation skills, and can help improve our ability to create intentions. These are the things that we would like to manifest, the things that we would like the energy that we're working with to focus on. And it's also very, very simple. You need, at minimum, 2 people, though you can extend this out to include as many people as you need it to, but everybody needs to be in pairs. So if there's an odd number, you might want to be rotating pairs around to make sure that everybody's got a fair shot at this. You can do this standing up, you can do this sitting on the floor, you can have one person sitting, one person standing. It really doesn't matter. You just need 2 people who are willing to practice their energy sensing and manipulation. So to begin, you need to decide who is going to be sensing that energy and who is going to be manipulating that energy. But don't worry, this isn't fixed. We will be switching people around as this practice goes on. Once you've decided, the energy sensor needs to be standing or sitting in front of the energy manipulator. So you both need to be facing the same direction, away from a situation. You don't necessarily want people to be facing each other, mostly because one person is going to start giggling, and then before you know, the entire place is in fits of laughter and nobody is getting anything done. So facing away from each other just makes this far simpler. The person manipulating the energy is going to be the one standing behind the person sensing the energy. And they need to make a decision. Do they want the energy to feel hot, or do they want the energy to feel cold? Whichever one you choose, you're going to be switching between as we go through this, but we need to be figuring out how we want that energy to present. So how does hot feel to you? Is it a desert? Is it a bonfire? Is it a fireplace? Is it a candle? Is it a lava field? Is it a puddle of boiling water? How does hot feel to you? And also, how do you think the other person is going to be best able to sense hot? This is where we come into the practice of our intention, figuring out the best way of representing what we want to achieve. It may well be that you're visualizing lava bubbling out of the earth. It is steaming hot. It is glowing red. It is black and red and orange and yellow and white in its hottest state. And you can feel the heat radiating off it. You can see the air rippling above it. This is what you are going to want to be focusing on. You can visualize this, or you can just know that this is what you are focusing on. If you're going for cold, is it ice cubes? Is it opening a freezer? Is it an icy lake? Is it the Arctic or the Antarctic? Is it a particular forest that you know that's icy cold and snowy? How are you going to represent cold, and how are they best going to be able to sense it? Create a mental image or just an idea of what it is that you want cold to represent. Once you have these ideas, pick one. Doesn't matter which, we're going to be switching between them as we do this anyway. You are going to want to be centering your energy, grounding, drawing energy up from the earth. That way we have a really good supply of energy to be working with. It's going to strengthen your grounding and your centering skills as we're practicing this. You are then going to want to be directing your energy down the length of your arms into your hands. And you're going to want to be hovering them around the person that's sensing the energy. You can put your hands on their shoulders, you can put your hand on their head, but generally I would say for best results, you're going to want to be hovering in their energy field. This is about 3 to 4 inches away from their body is a general rule for this. You can go further out, but that means they're going to work harder. So to start with, go pretty close, especially if you're new and your sensing partner is very new. It gives them a little bit of practice. You can move away as you start developing your skills, but to start with, go pretty close. You're going to be hovering your hands over them, and you're going to be focusing on this intention. What is it that you want them to feel? Hot or cold? Add this in to your energy. Focus on it as your energy is sitting in you. Direct it, and then push it into their energy field. Their only job then, as the energy sensor, is to figure out whether what you're sending out is hot or cold. They can do this in a couple of ways. Some people are really, really natural with this and they can just immediately go, oh yeah, that's hot. Oh yeah, that's cold. Some people, it takes a little bit of practice. So what you're going to want to do as the energy sensor is center your energy, and you're going to want to be pushing it outwards towards where their energy is. It's sitting just about here. You're going to be pushing your energy out to meet their energy and then pulling it back in again. How does it feel? Does it feel like the Arctic? Does it feel like a lava field? Does it feel like a bonfire or maybe an ice cube? What color are you getting? Are you getting reds? Are you getting oranges? Or are you getting whites and blues? What are you sensing? And this can also help improve your psychic abilities as well, because you might get a particular smell, a particular color comes to you, a particular sound, a particular animal. You might see a visual image, or it might just be a sensation that you're feeling. You can write it down if you want to keep this sort of private and talk about it later, or they can there and then say it's hot or it's cold, and the person behind you can then agree, yes, it's hot, no, it's not, whatever works best. For randomness purposes, I would suggest writing it down, because that way you can't predict what they're going to be doing next. The person behind is then going to withdraw their energy. They're going to clear their mind, and they're going to be choosing hot or cold. If they've just done hot, you can choose to do hot again. And if you've just done cold, you can choose to do cold again, or you can switch them around. Focus on that energy, center your energy again, focus on the intention, direct it out, down your arms, just an inch or so away from their energy field to start off with. What do they get this time? Write it down. And again, do this 3 to 5 times to start off with, and then you can go through the results. What did they get right? What did they get wrong? Or you can wait till the very end. You are then going to switch. So the person that was energy sensing is now energy manipulating. The person energy manipulating is now energy sensing. Same process. You write it down after every one, and then you compare your results. As a 2, it can give you a lot of information as to what your particular strengths are. If you're finding that you are really, really struggling to sense their energy, but they're finding it really easy to manipulate the energy, it might be that you are struggling with your energy sensing. But if you know that you're really, really good at energy sensing, but you can't really sense what they're going for, it might either be that you're not pushing your energy out far enough to reach their energy, or they're not particularly good at projecting that energy at the moment, and that's something that they need to be working on. If you're really struggling to focus on the intention, then that might be something that you need to be working on. But in a group situation, this is where this practice really comes into its own, because what you can do then is you can switch partners. So you are now partnered with a different energy manipulator, they're partnered with a different energy sensor, and this is where the troubleshooting can really take effect. Because if you really, really struggled with energy sensing with the first person that you were paired with, but you find it really easy with the second and third person that you were paired with, it's probably not your energy sensing that was the issue, it was probably their energy manipulation, and vice versa. If somebody's really, really struggling with one person to get them to sense energy, but they're fine with everybody else, it might be that your energy projection isn't a problem, and instead their energy sensing is what's limiting it. Once you've done this, either with 2 people or with a whole bunch of people, you can then expand the practice, make it more difficult. No longer is it 1 inch away, it's 2 inches, it's 3 inches, it's 4 inches, it's 5 inches, going further and further away if you want to keep hot and cold. Alternatively, keep it close to the energy field, switch up what it is that you are visualizing. Are you visualizing perhaps the elements, earth, air, fire, water? To make it more difficult, you can add spirit in there. That is more difficult though, because not everybody has the same image, mental picture for spirit. You can also choose locations. Is it a forest? Is it a desert? Is it a woodland? To make it even more difficult, you cannot tell them what the options are. Now, this is something that is definitely more advanced. This is not something for you to just start with. But if you are perhaps working through the different elements and you've gone through different locations and you've gone through hot and cold, maybe then it's a case of going, okay, well, it could be really any of these things. You have like 10, 12 different options. What are you sensing? And it's going to push people to train their energy sensing more and more and more. And it's going to force you to manipulate your energy better and better and better. And this is the kind of practice that I found incredibly useful when I was working in a group, because it gave you a better understanding of the way that other people's energy feels. Not everybody's energy is going to feel the same way, and not everybody is going to present their energy the same. And so it's really useful when you're working in a group, not only to strengthen your own abilities, but to have an understanding of how other people express their energy and how other people feel, so that when it comes to spells and rituals, you have a much, much easier time working with others. So I hope that this was useful. Let me know if anybody has done this exercise, is going to, what their experiences with it were. I love this exercise. As soon as we started doing this, people started to relax because they then knew that their energy sensing and their energy manipulation wasn't just in their head. Other people were also experiencing it too. So if you did like this, feel free to give it a like. If you would like more content like this, I have an entire beginner witchcraft series. This is a new addition onto it. I will leave that link up here. And if you do want to watch more videos about witchcraft and paganism, feel free to subscribe. I post videos every single week and we cover so many different witchcraft topics. With that being said, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you have a marvelous magical day, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye!